Next person. Pat Collins. Good luck.
I'm Pat Collins, and I'm 67 years old. I moved here in 1978. We've got 2 children, 9 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. And I worked at the mines and also like at butcheries. I've kind of done a little bit of everything. I worked at Carter Mining and Jacobs Ranch Mine. Then I also owned my own salon for about 4 years. So, yeah, he was my landlord. And for about 4 years, and I really enjoyed that. And I didn't think I'd ever be running, but things do happen. About 3.5 years ago, my husband passed away from ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And I guess him going to be with the Lord and me just kind of getting stronger, stepping up and having a voice. He was kind of always my voice. We were married 47.5 years when he died. And anyway, the reason I want to run is I believe a change is needed in the city council, like major. There's too much spending, there's no transparency that I've seen, and there's no communication with the people of the wards, of my ward. Sunday I was out handing out my flyers, and I bumped into a gentleman, and he says, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, I'll try to answer it." And he said, "Why are my utilities going up and why are my taxes going up?" He said, "I'm paying $150 more a month for his escrow, for his house payment." And he said he called my opponent and they kind of didn't answer and they never called him back. And then the other councilwoman in our ward never called him back. They just dismissed him. And I felt so bad for him, and that's part of the reason I'm running. I get so tired of when I've been at these meetings. I didn't think I'd do this, but anyway, I go to these meetings and I see high and mighties up there. I think they think that they're untouchable, and it's like everything they've already voted on is passed. And a friend of mine, Wanda, and I, we've said, we didn't even know this was up, and it's passed, it's passed, it's passed. And I'm frustrated that the city is buying lots of land. For what? We don't know. But they're just buying things. And that is wrong, and that's why I want transparency, whether it's to tell the people ahead of time best they can. I don't know, I'm new to this. If I should get elected though, I would like to be more transparent with the whole city, but especially my own ward. And so that's kind of why I'm running. And also, I know you'd mentioned the first thing you want to do is I would love to repeal and revoke, or whatever the word analogy is for that, is the hate ordinance.
Yeah.
That's what got me. That's what fired me up a year ago. A year ago I said, I left the council and chambers, and I was so angry, and I even told Patty the next day, I'm running for city council, because I was so fired up. Because what was really frustrating is there were like 50 to 70 people speaking up against it. 2 were for it. It passed by a 4-3 vote. And I was frustrated because it's like they didn't hear us. Their minds were made up before we even spoke. And I want to see a change there. And it can be revoked if we get the right city council people on there. So that's one of my main reasons. And another thing at one of the meetings that I don't know the exact dollar amount, but regarding government money, I remember hearing her say it. she was saying, well, the government's going to give us, I'll throw this out, $250,000 if we do such and such. But then we have to come up with the other dollars to match it, or even more so. Let's say they give us 40%. We have to pay the other 60% for whatever improvement. So they see it, in my opinion, as free money. It's not free. There is no such thing as free money. Somebody's got to pay for it. And that's another thing. And I mean, she was lit up like a light bulb going, we get free money from the government. No, we don't. It's costing every single one of us. And I do have one more little tidbit that's bugging me, among others, is the 1% sales tax. I know there are good things it does, but there's also so much misuse. I'll see beautification things around town, your 1% sales tax at work. I'm going, why is that 1% sales tax not going for our roads? That's originally what it was intended for, not for these frilly things, or, this is one of my pet peeves, library books. It says penny powder. That's our 1% sales tax going for, some books are good and some of them are not, as we can attest to. So I would like to see that brought back to what its original function was. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, there's a question.
If you get elected, would you be willing to stand up, you're going to get up with something called staff recommendations? And that's where you got these other committees that take and they vote on something, some particular issue, and that's usually what they, when it comes back, staff recommendation, and then when you're talking about the rubber stamping, if staff recommendations all approved it, would you be willing to stand up and say no
I would. If it's wrong, I would.
and go against them?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, hon.
I have a question. I see you're going to be more transparent than the people elected in the past.
Yep.
But one of the questions I've always asked is when the city or the county proposes an idea, like the overpass, where are the plans? How come the public never sees what we have proposed?
Good
Proposing a
question.
4-lane overpass with a bike path. For 41 years, the Gurley overpass is 2 lanes, and we stand a good chance of our population going down. So what is that going to service? I was at the meeting with Mike Cole when he says now we can introduce truck traffic to it. We built bypasses around Gillette to eliminate the truck traffic. So when you ask the questions, you never get a clear answer. So with the group that's here tonight, that's running for city council, I hope that changes.
Yep.
So that we're more honest with the public.
Well, and regarding the Gurley overpass, I was checking on that, and it's a $40 million project. And they're, like you said, 4 lanes and a bike path, and I can't see Gillette needing 4 lanes over that. I've not seen myself a lot of congestion. I don't go over it a lot, but because I live over in Sutherland. But that, to me, is money that won't be spent wisely right now.
I forgot the most important thing. Now we have the bus barn being put on the north side of the tracks. Is this our idea of traffic control? So we need a 4-lane? Because the one proposal for the school district was to put it at the old Landon Bridge,
Okay.
Road and Bridge, and it seems like we never actually communicate in the whole district figure out how to make the best plans for our community.
Well, lack of communication, because I myself would have liked to have seen it down by the rec center. I believe that city owns that huge area of land where there's a couple of softball fields. And then the last meeting, their city's going to give $100,000 to improve those 2 softball fields. And I think there could have been a better option. So why are you going to pick a spot where the bridge is needing repaired? So, Ben.
You go ahead.
My question is related to all the infrastructure failure we see. Like, if the Gurley overpass is actually failing, which I think it's had problems since it was built. The city pool failed prematurely. The rec center, although it's county, not city, had leaks immediately. We have houses that we build and then fall down immediately. And so my question is, will you be able to look and see who the people involved were, who did the soils reports, who did the engineering, who were the contractors involved, and
they need to be held accountable for what they've done.
Hold them accountable and start requiring professional people that are actually equipped to do the work rather than continuing to have premature failures everywhere.
Yeah, well, my granddaughter just graduated from the University of Wyoming in December with civil engineering degree. And she has told me, looking around Gillette, and I mean, she's a newbie, but she said, Grandma, they did that wrong.
I have a question. We talked about, like the Gurley overpass, how it has a bike path on it. And we've seen a trend that we suspect that the mayor and the city council are trying to move us towards the communist 15-minute smart city. And it seems poised for that, buying all the property downtown, insisting on bike paths everywhere, Dollar General on every corner. And would you stand against this trend that it seems to move us towards that 15-minute city and 10 to 20 years down the road? We've listened to seminars on this, and it really looks like that. Would you stand against that?
Yeah, and thank you, because I forgot. I am also on the city planning committee. I'm one of 12, and I'm on there as I want to be here. I want to see what's going on. I want to make sure that a 15-minute city isn't in the plans, and if it is, I will be telling everybody as to what we can do. Right now, they're worried about taxes, building houses.